A very good morning to you. Time now for business. And recent developments in the banking sector have left some people asking questions about who is actually responsible for the cost of supporting these banks. Liquidity assistance as well as bailouts have been extended to distressed and collapsed banks in recent times. The following analysis brings us some details.
According to recent Bank of Ghana statistics, a little over 5 billion cedis has been used to support banks in the country ending December 2017, which includes banks said to be in serious financial distress. But persons with knowledge on regulatory business insist that this is not free cash and that the banks in question would definitely pay back. So usually, the immediate assistance would come from the Bank of Ghana in terms of liquidity support. However, judging from the recent UT and Capital Bank collapse, it looks like the state often takes up the cost of funding these supports. For instance, government is planning to issue a 2 billion cedi bond to GCB in its partial takeover of the two banks. However, some have argued that indirectly, the taxpayer will take up the cost. The IMF in its staff report has argued that it sees this cost as part of the country's debt stock.
Now, the disbursement of the European Union cash for Ghana is no longer linked to its performance under the IMF program. The development has been influenced by progress made by government in stabilizing the economy. The EU had in the past tied its support to Ghana on how the country fared under the fund program. But the European Union says this is no longer the situation. Paulo Salvia is acting head of the EU delegation in Ghana.
Frankly, we are waiting we are following the situation and waiting to see how things will evolve. It is now too soon, after only 1 year of government, to understand and can make a final assessment on how things are changing in which direction they are going. There are some positive elements that were stressed this time, but also some time ago. There are also some elements of preoccupation that need to be followed up. It's still a bit too soon to give a final assessment. We follow, and of course, we are ready to give our support in any way possible.
So does this mean that there's going to be a release of donor funds following this? Because this is what you premise your release on.
No, there was no any funds stopped in some time. Just few weeks or maybe 1 or 2 months ago, we signed financial agreement for more than 140 million euro. So funds are coming from Europe as was planned. There is nothing waiting for something to happen. Of course, we will soon be starting thinking about the next phase after 2020 for the next program of the following 7 years. At that point, of course, a decision will have to be taken, but at that time, the situation will be much more clear than now.
And that's all we have for you in business for the morning. There's more business at midday. My name is Emmanuel Abwaji. Have a good morning.